I very much plan to continue to speak up on behalf of women in public life, as well as our children, by seeking better protections for everyone on social media. When I was at school, bullying occurred, but when children stepped off the bus, their home was a safe place. And today our young people have no escape. The bullies are following them right into their bedroom, and we must act. Mr. Speaker, a former member of this House said to me last week that my closing speech should be in the style of Father Ted Crilly when he received the Golden Cleric Award. But after a moment of reflection, I thought perhaps not. Now, some of the younger faces in here would be puzzled by who Father Ted was, and even more puzzled by the name of the award. But suffice to say, just like all politicians who resign, I will now spend more time with my family. So my lovely mum, my darling husband and my 3 beloved children will see more of me, whether they like it or not. It's just as well, Mr. Speaker, I am such a good daughter, wife and mother. Those of us in public life know that we cannot fully function without the support of our loved ones, and I've had that support in abundance. I wish my successors as party leader and First Minister well, and I want to thank politicians from right across the political spectrum for their good wishes. I've been overwhelmed. Even some in the naughty corner found something good to say. If only we'd said all those nice things a few years ago, it would save us a lot of time. Mr. Speaker, my reflections today will be broader more than personal, with an eye to the future of the Assembly and Northern Ireland as part of the United Kingdom. My time as Northern Ireland's First Minister may have come to a close abruptly, but I remain someone with a passion for service, for Northern Ireland and for the Union. This particular chapter may be closing, but I intend to write some more in the years ahead, for I have unfinished business to ensure Northern Ireland succeeds in its new century. I believe strongly in the good sense of the people of Northern Ireland to continue to recognise the value of our place within the United Kingdom as a distinctive and integral element of that union of nations. A UK that has seen us through the worst ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic, with unprecedented financial support, our incomparable National Health Service and a national vaccination programme that is the envy of the rest of the world. Now, as you're aware, Mr. Speaker, I was first elected to the Northern Ireland Assembly in 2003, and since then I've had the great privilege to be the representative for Fermanagh and South Tyrone, my home constituency, and somewhere I am tremendously proud of, both in terms of its diverse population and its beautiful countryside. I was pleased to show it off one last time as First Minister when myself and the Deputy First Minister hosted the British-Irish Council meeting on Friday past. In 2007, when devolution returned, I was appointed Minister for the Environment, and from there I went on to become Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Investment, a role I loved as it allowed me to speak positively about and be an advocate for Northern Ireland across the world. The highlight was 2012, when we showcased Northern Ireland during our Time, Our Place campaign. Transforming Invest Northern Ireland, building up our tourism industry, inviting international investors to come to Northern Ireland and creating more and better jobs for our young people are all achievements that I look back upon with pride. Oscar Wilde, who was educated in Fermanagh Batour Royal School, suggested, and I quote, "A dreamer is one who can only find his way by moonlight, and his punishment is that he sees the dawn before the rest of the world." Close quote. And throughout my time in economy and since, I have continuously been impressed by the ingenuity, innovation and aspiration of all our people, but especially our young people. I say to those potential young leaders, hold on to your dreams, because by doing so, you're halfway there. I was appointed to Finance and Personnel Ministry in 2015, and then in January 2016 became First Minister for Northern Ireland, something a little girl growing up in Fermanagh could scarcely have countenanced. I trust my contribution has served as an encouragement to others, and the role of females in public life is something I will continue to champion. Following the 2016 Assembly election, Mr Speaker, I agreed a joint statement for the new elected executive with the then Deputy First Minister, Martin McGuinness. And this was commonly described as a joint commitment to getting down to business. A statement of intent to focus on the issues of common concern, not the wedges that can divide, and to show once and for all that devolution could deliver change, not just more of the same. It is my deepest regret that the opportunity to fulfil that purpose would be denied by a series of events. When faced with false allegations of corruption, I defended myself vigorously to clear my name, and no one should have to tolerate such assaults on their character, but misleading interviews and salacious claims that would not survive the glare of an inquiry created a febrile atmosphere that coincided with the declining health of Martin McGuinness. The result? A crisis that led to the unnecessary loss of devolution. Lost years for Northern Ireland and a period when public services inevitably slumped backwards. Alongside ongoing negotiations to restore devolution, where no sign of a workable agreement was evident, we secured the Democratic Unionist Party's confidence and supply agreement to help fill the political vacuum and public service consequences. Over £1 billion extra in resources was provided in those years in key areas like health, education and jobs, but the solutions it provided and difficulties it mitigated were still outstripped by the problems from having no functioning Assembly or Executive. That confidence and supply agreement will leave a legacy, but also highlights our challenges. £150 million is being rolled out via Project Stratum to bring broadband to rural areas and leave Northern Ireland as the best connected region in Europe. And when completed, the project will be transformational to our economy. We ensured the purse strings were loosened by Treasury to enable £500 million to be used to help shared housing and education schemes. We delivered £50 million over 5 years to help mental health, and I note that money has been critical in recent announcements by the Health Minister. Sadly, broader politics in Northern Ireland between the UK and Ireland and the UK and the EU is out of balance, an imbalance created by the protocol. In any negotiation, when one of those at the table is perceived as weak, the clear temptation is for others to take full advantage. However, such short-term advantage comes at the cost of long-term harm to relationships. It is not a real partnership. And an imbalance and an instability is built in that will fester and deteriorate. And if Brussels continue to think that the protocol is enough, they are in denial. Imbalance and instability in the context of Northern Ireland is a truly dangerous cocktail. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom and needs to be treated as such. And if the EU does not, then the UK will have a practical, political and moral obligation to act to protect the everyday life of everyone in Northern Ireland. So I may no longer be in the position of political leadership, Mr Speaker, but rest assured I will contribute in whatever way I can to see Northern Ireland advance socially, politically, economically and culturally as part of the UK. I firmly believe strong, functioning and successful devolution is vital to this and to building the success of Northern Ireland and what it is capable of in its new century. Mr Speaker, in closing, Samuel Beckett, also educated in Fermanagh, in Waiting for Godot, wrote, "Let us do something while we have the chance. It is not every day that we are needed, not indeed that we personally are needed." And he continued, "But at this place, at this moment of time, all mankind is us, whether we like it or not. Let us make the most of it." Let's be generous. Our Lord taught us the parable of the Good Samaritan, and I'm sure we've all heard it. But remember, two people passed by. They closed their eyes to the injured Jewish man. Now, Mr Speaker, I haven't always made the right calls. None of us are perfect. But at the end of the parable, our Lord asks, "Who is your neighbour?" The one who stopped to offer help. Remember, stopping meant the Samaritan reaching out across the religious divide, and it also meant him reaching into his own pocket and paying a price to provide shelter for the injured man. Our Lord concludes the parable by saying, "Go and do likewise." Mr. Speaker, let us be good neighbours. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Over and out.